To live together with animals is something so normal nowadays that you can excuse most people for not realizing how recent this phenomenon has been in our human development. Even if you look only at our own human species, Homo sapiens, who have been around for plus minus 300,000 years, the first domestication of, you guessed it, the dog, happened only in the last 20,000 years. Not as a food source, nor as a pet as now, but as a useful ally when hunting. In this regard, dogs were an exception. Most other animals we started to share our life with were bred for food. 4 out of the 5 most important land animals we currently use as our main protein source were all tamed in the Middle East first. So, how has the domestication of these Middle Eastern animals changed who we are? Hello and welcome to this 6th episode of EDO ERGO SUM, I am what I eat. This episode is part of the mini-series about the Neolithic Agricultural Revolution and follows the one that was looking at the domestication of plants in the Middle East. Here we have a closer look at domesticating animals and what consequences this has had on our further human development. In one word, huge. Especially if you compare our life with the one of our Paleolithic forebears before the agricultural revolutions have taken place. Look at the global meat production from 2018 by our World in data. Of the total worldwide production of 346 million tons, all but 10 million, that is more than 97%, can be attributed to no more than 5 animal types: chicken, pigs, cows, sheep and goats. By comparison, the production, that is the killing of wild animals for food, is today an almost negligible quantity. This in a big contrast to the behavior of our Paleolithic forebears. Of these 4, all but chicken, were all domesticated in the Middle East first about 2000 to 4000 years after the domestication of plants. Again, it is very likely that this domestication did not happen out of the blue, but was a gradual process. It is not even clear that this has happened after the domestication of plants. According to Magalon de Saint-Samas' History of Food, a classic for anyone interested in food history, archaeologists have discovered enclosures from 30,000 years ago on the Sinai Peninsula, also part of the Middle East, which were apparently used to fatten up caught gazelles and deers for slaughter, at least judged by the bones found there. This is not unlike most tuna aquaculture today, where tuna is not domesticated, but caught in the wild and then fattened up before slaughter. A process, by the way, which does nothing to help wild tuna stocks to recover. Same as these tuna farms today, the enclosures in the Sinai from 30,000 years ago probably relied on catching wild animals. So this cannot be called domestication. So in the strict sense of the word, it is true that the domestication of animals happened after the one of plants. The domestication of poultry, which has recently turned into our most important animal food source just ahead of pork, and accounts for 35% of global meat production, has started in Southeast Asia much later, only about 5,000 years ago, with the domestication of chicken. It has spread into the Middle East and Europe only in antiquity via India. Chicken was, however, not the first bird the antique Middle Eastern cultures domesticated. That honor goes to guinea fowl, then as now appreciated for its tasty meat. It has been domesticated by Egyptians before the people on the Nile were introduced to the common chicken. The old Egyptian name for chicken, the bird that gives birth every day, gives you an indication why it has become such a popular domesticated animal. It looks as if the breeding of mammals, cattle, sheep and goats, did start to consume them as meat, but it was realized quite early on that they were even more valuable as milk producers. 7,200 years old residues from Croatia prove that the oldest cheese is not much younger than the domestication of cattle, sheep and goats themselves. You can only produce cheese if you're able to extract milk in a sufficient quantity, so this must have happened quite early on. Cows were especially valuable since they gave a large amount of both meat and milk. This can be seen in an unlikely place, our writing systems. Both the Phoenician alphabet, from which our Latin alphabet derives, and the rune one of the Germanic tribes start with the letter A. An F in the Germanic one called Fa but meaning A, and in both alphabets the letter stands for cattle and means wealth. If you owned a cow, you were rich. The word Aleph, which became Alpha in Greek, as the first letter of the alphabet, is a symbol for an ox. The Hebrews thought the same and counted wealth in the number of cows someone owned. Cows are valuable as they produce not only meat or milk in a substantial quantity, but they could also be deployed for labor and even for transport. Your car is testimony to that, as its width is based on that of Roman streets, which were designed for 2 oxen to pull a wagon together. So the size of your car is basically the size of 2 cows. Think of that the next time when your significant other in the passenger seat is trying to explain to you how to drive. Where there were domesticated animals, this had a profound effect on meat consumption, at least compared to the Paleolithic age before. Take for example the Celtic city of Manching in Bavaria, a city not far from Munich that had its heyday from 300 to 50 BC. Extensive excavations by the University of Munich in the 1950s produced no less than 276,000 animal bones, of which less than 600, that is far less than 1%, could be attributed to wild animals. Some deer, a boar or the odd sea eagle. The large rest were all bones from domesticated pigs, chicken, goats, cows and sheep. As the example of Manching shows, the domestication of animals like cows, chicken or pigs had a big impact on what kind of meat, dairy and eggs we consume since the agricultural revolutions have taken place. Whereas the one in the Middle East was the first, it was not the only one. What other revolutions there were in prehistoric times, how they spread to the surrounding areas, and what consequences this has had on our further human development will be discussed in the next video called The Agricultural Revolution Goes Global. Thank you for watching this episode of EDO ERGO SUM. I am what I eat. If you did enjoy it, please hit the like button. This would help other people find it on YouTube. If you want to receive more videos like this one, also about the present or future of our relationship with food, consider subscribing to the channel. Now back to you. What do you think? Is the example of Manching special, or is this just what was to be expected when the wild animals got domesticated? Please leave your remarks and questions in the comments. I will do my best to answer them. Bye for now. Hopefully to the next video when the agricultural revolution goes global.